Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. I know it's December, coming into a brand new year, so I thought it was time to film this video for you guys. If it is your first time watching a video from me, welcome. It's nice to meet you. If it's not, good to see you again. The last time that I sat down and filmed this video for you was a year and 8 months ago in 2021. Without any more boring chit chat, this video is basically going to be me talking through the tattoos that I have, also showing you any new additions that I've had since the last video. So let's get cracking. I am going to start off with the one that we can see, which you guys would have saw last time, but it is this piece on my left arm. Everybody always asks who it is, what does it mean, blah 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 blah. I have no fucking idea who it is, and I don't care. It means nothing. It basically was just from this artist that did up this flash piece. I just thought it looked cool and got it. It's in a neo-traditional style. This was specifically what this artist actually specializes in doing, and we split the session up into 2 sessions. So I did the first 3 hours doing this, which was purely just lines, and then I was gonna go back for another 3 hours to do all the shading, and I didn't go back, and I always thought that I wanted to, and as time went on I realized that I just love it as it is, and I think it's probably my most complimented tattoo. Maybe one of them. This cost £300, which I know for a fact because the full price should have been 600. This one right here, which is adorable. This is a new addition and I love it so much. I think it's so small and so petite, so cute. It says Otro Trago, which I think means another shot, but I don't know if that means alcohol or another shot at life, but I just thought it was really cute. Again, it was a flash piece, and I just thought it would be adorable to get. The artist that did it was basically in London. He travels around everywhere across the world, but he had a guest spot in this kind of new tattoo studio in East London. I'll put the name of the tattoo studio on the screen because I actually cannot remember now. So I got that one, and then I also got another one. So I'll spin around and I'll show you that. It's basically another one of his flash pieces, and he does really cool kind of funky designs, like weird, I don't know how you would call them, like statue looking dark tattoos. So that's basically the tattoo that I wanted to go in to get from him. His name is Super Roger and he's so much fun. I think it's probably one of the funnest experiences I've had with a tattoo artist because he was just hilarious. But for me, I mean, I just love going in and talking to people because that's naturally the kind of person that I am. So I think it's nice to just have that sort of experience from a tattoo appointment. I think both of them altogether cost about £300. This little guy right here. So it's a spider. I don't know if you can tell. It's basically made up of loads of little tiny dots and kind of in a geometric, funky little style pattern, so it's not strictly spider vibes. I'm actually terrified of spiders, which is the funniest thing. I think it's amazing. It's healed so well. I mean, it's just smooth and soft and easy and nice now. I got this one off an artist called Freckled Leopard Tattoo on Instagram. Her name is Tamsin. She's based in East London in a studio in Hackney Wick. It's such a cool studio, honestly. If you do want to get the aesthetics of a good studio, that is definitely a good one to go to. Also in that studio in particular, they get a lot of artists travel over from South Korea and guest out of there for a few weeks at a time. So it's probably a good one to keep an eye out for, just in case there are artists that you are a fan of that, I don't know, are really far away from you. You never know, they might visit there at some point. So this little guy in total cost £120, which again, I think is quite reasonable, to be honest with you. The next one to show you is also new. I mean, I've got a video up about it, but it's my hand, which I'm sure you guys can all see quite prominently. It's a Doberman. I know, it may not look like a Doberman because everybody just asks if it's some sort of like bull terrier or I don't know. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. So I got this one off an artist called Loz Thomas. He is based in East London, just off Broadway Market, and Loz is absolutely amazing at his work. It's crazy to see. I've always been such a fan, so it was nice to finally get something, and especially have something that's on my hand that I can see all the time because I'm obsessed with it. The original plan with this was to go in and get a Doberman and a staffy barking at each other on my hand, because I saw that on someone before, different dogs, but the barking element, and I thought it looked really cool. But he basically said that it wouldn't really fit, and also he'd have to do the lines a lot smaller, so in time they would probably fade. So opted for a Doberman, and all the ones that were barking just looked so angry. And obviously I do have a lot of kind of dark tattoos and whatnot, like snakes and dragons and spiders and stuff, but I just love dogs and I don't think they have to look like they're angry. So we opted for a happy little Doberman, and I'm happy with how it looks. Honestly, I think it's definitely up there with my faves because it's just such a cool hand piece. Also, Laws's idea was to do a wraparound red chain. I think red is basically his trademark, so yeah, I'm happy that I have it. I think it's so cool, and I've had that for, I don't know, maybe like 8 months now, and it looks amazing. Healed so well. It literally healed in like 2 days, which was crazy. He tattoos so quickly. He sits down with you, he talks you through what he wants to do, draws it up in front of you, and talks to you the whole time through getting your tattoo, and he's just such a nice guy. So yeah, I really rate him. I think it was 250. I think it was 250 for a whole hand. Phenomenal. On to this arm. So the first one that you are going to see is this, which is a shark. It's so random, and yeah, it's so random. I can't even explain it. It's basically a shark with Gucci lining on the inside. The reason I got red was because I've got some tattoos that have red, and I thought it would look quite cool to kind of contrast. I mean, it's definitely funky. I love the thick lines, but I just don't love the placement. I think it's much too close to these two. That's my own fault because I always just go with what the tattoo artists say and what they recommend, just because I'm such an easygoing person and I can't make decisions. So yeah, I mean, I don't love the placement, but I do think it's funky. I think it's cool. And obviously once I have more and take up more space, you're not really going to notice it that much anyway. But it's just because that's the one that's on the top of my arm. I'm just really wanting something on top of it to kind of just even everything out. I got this from a tattoo artist called Kane the Tattooer. He's so nice, such a legend. So he was doing a guest spot in a tattoo studio called Rye Lanes, which is in Peckham in London. This is a butterfly that I had before. I've seen so many other butterflies since, and I would have loved to do it a different way. It looks cute. I mean, I'm always gonna love my tattoos regardless because I chose them for a reason, and they're there and they just create a story about me. It tells a story. It's definitely faded. It's starting to look a little bit kind of like, not green, but it's just not the darkest black. I'm cool with it. I mean, it's got quite a lot of shading on the inside, so I think that's just kind of what's fading a bit as well. I actually get a lot of compliments on it, which is kind of weird because I definitely don't favour it that much, but I got this off a tattoo artist with some other pieces on this arm as well from a woman called Justine in Galway in Ireland, and I feel like I spent like 70 euros on it. Do you see this one? I need to come up close to show you this one because it's awful. It's so bad. This one right here is definitely my worst tattoo. And I feel so bad saying that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look great. The lines are really wiggly. The lines are so uneven. It was like, I think a bit infected as well after I got it done. And I think that's kind of caused it to just kind of like flake and whatnot. It looks awful. I can't lie. But it's something that I'm just gonna cover at some point or just get jazzed up a little bit. That cost like £25, but I probably would have preferred to not pay anything for it. This one is a little kind of word, quote, piece of writing that's on my arm, which I still absolutely adore to this day. I mean, I show everybody whenever the topic of conversation comes up. It says hardcore, and you may or may not know or assume what that means. It's the music that I listen to, but yeah, it's just my absolute passion. I mean, I've loved it for like 10 years now, maybe more. Yeah, I love it so much, and I think it looks great. I mean, I got this off the same tattoo artist that did the butterfly. I really like the font. I mean, I think it's so cute, the kind of like traditional gothic style. I mean, it's maybe blended in a little bit close together, probably because like just the letters were close together anyway. So I know in years to come it's probably not gonna look amazing, but I love it so much and I think it's cute. This is a new one that wasn't in my original tattoo video. Oh my god, why am I forgetting what it's called? I literally went to Rome. It's a take on Adam's creation, Michelangelo. I would maybe love at some point to shade it in. I don't know. I mean, it's a thought, but I think it's quite cute. It's just a random little line and it takes up some space. I got this one off a tattoo artist in Galway in Ireland. His name is Anderson. I don't know if he actually tattoos anymore, so I might not tag him. I think that I got that one and another tattoo, which I'll show you next, and both of them together were, I think, 150 euros or 120. But the second one that I got from him was this little smiley face, which I love so much. I think it's so adorable. It's not your standard smiley face, it's a silly smiley face, and it just explains who I am. So the next few are all from the same artist. Everything's quite good value. I mean, the snake was 300 euros. I think the other pieces were probably like 50 or like 60 euros each. The snake, I had a completely different idea in mind when I went in. I thought I was just gonna get like lions and something like cute and dainty. It just ended up being such a dark tattoo. I didn't expect it. I really didn't, but I'm so happy because it just really stands out. She did a lot of detail when she first did this, and she also put in a lot of kind of white ink as well to kind of make it stand out. So I know in a few years it's definitely just gonna mold into one big kind of black line. You can still see some of the details, which I'm really happy about. So we'll see how it looks in a few years, but for the time being it still looks like a snake. Classic. It's such a classic, isn't it? I think everyone's mother, auntie and fucking daughter has an angel number tattoo at this point. The last one to show you on this arm is what's on my hand, which is from the same artist, and it doesn't look great. I will be honest with you. One of my best friends said to me recently that it's her favorite tattoo of mine, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, all of the lines are just so uneven, and yeah, I mean, it's just not great. For that matter, I do enjoy it, but at some point I may just kind of fill it in or do something different with it. It hasn't changed that much over time. It was kind of always like that. It may change, I don't know. The next part to show you is probably my stomach. I've got some new ones there. First off is this one, which I've always had. It's Roman numerals. It's my great granny's birth year, so it means 1923. I mean, this was my first tattoo, which is crazy. I paid, I want to say 70 euros, which seems fine. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago now. The next one to show you is my sternum piece, and on that video that I did first, I had so many comments saying that the lion looked sad. So I can see exactly what everybody was saying. And one side is definitely a lot more faded and kind of worn away than the other. Still looks like a tattoo, still looks like a lion, and I also love the mandala part. And the more and more tattoos that I get over time, the more I just kind of forget about any feelings that I have if I don't actually love them. The next one that's on my stomach, which is a new addition to show you, I do actually have a video for, so I'll put the link to that one right there. But it's a word above my belly button and I love it so much. It says chaos. Because I am chaos. I've got to be honest with you, initially when I first got it, I regretted it for about 5 months. So I got it for my birthday in February last year, and yeah, 5-6 months I thought I hated it. I just thought the font was weird, I thought it was too thick, but now I absolutely love it because it's just weird and wonderful, just like me. The font, I basically just went on Procreate and I just was playing around with different fonts and then just found that one, liked it. Asked a tattoo artist that is based out of Rye Lanes, his name's Luca, just asked him if he could do it. Next one, which has been mentioned in a few of my tattoo videos, is my palm trees. I got it in America when I was traveling, and the fun story behind it is that my ex-boyfriend also decided to get the exact same tattoo as well. His was on his calf and he cried the entire way through, and it looks terrible because a different artist did it, so karma. The next one that I can show you is what's on my back, the kind of piece that's right down my spine. I got it in Galway in a tattoo studio called Victor's, and I got it by Victor. Found inspiration for it on Pinterest. Started off, I was actually sitting down in the chair and I thought I was gonna faint. So that's the only time I've ever experienced that. I think it may have cost me 150 euros at the time. Yeah, I mean, I can't really see it, which is disappointing, but I think it's quite cute. I think the plan for my back is just loads of little tiny pieces when I get around to it, because I'm prioritizing my arms first. The next one that is worthwhile showing you, that you can sometimes see when I'm wearing trousers, or I'm always wearing trousers. Probably my biggest piece, and it's definitely one of my favorites because it just stands out so well. It's a dragon. I got it in that sort of style because that's exactly the sort of style I wanted it in. It's literally just lines. I never ever have had plans or will have plans to fill it or finish it. I've had so many people ask me, when am I finishing it? Which is really annoying. And it's just personal preference. I just like how it looks. I love lines because it just leaves room for imagination. I think I got that like 3 or 4 years ago now from that tattoo artist that doesn't tattoo really anymore. I think that one cost me 250, which is crazily cheap for the size that it is. The next one to show you, which is right beside the dragon, and I mentioned this in my original video, I absolutely hate this tattoo. I got it matching with my sister, and I think this was my second tattoo. So she came up with the quote. It says, "The rest is still unwritten," which I had no idea was a song, and it's a terrible song. I don't care what you say, I think it's an awful song. So yeah, it's a really bad quote, it's a really bad font, it's done really badly, and it's healed really badly. So it's definitely up there with one of the tattoos that I hate the most. Then the next one that I can show you is another one that I don't really love, but I'm kind of learning to love it as long as I've had it. It's the rose that's on my other hip, done in kind of like a realistic style, and that was just what the tattoo artist strictly wanted to do because that's what he specialized in. He's based in The Hague, or Den Haag in Holland, and I just got it while I was on holiday. I think it cost 250 euros and it took like 10 hours, which is crazy. It's healed quite badly. I mean, it looks really blue and really green, and it got a little bit infected as well, so not great, but I'm starting to enjoy it more. Then the final tattoo that I have to show you is the one that is on my calf, and you've seen it before. It's basically from the same tattoo artist, Anderson, that's done my sternum and my dragon. I saw a similar design online, and then he kind of tweaked different parts of it, and I think it's really cool. I mean, it's quite dark, it's quite different to everything else that I have. Maybe my only comment now is that I know that I want to get lots of little kind of small pieces on my legs, so I think it's just gonna obviously stand out and look quite different with what will be the rest of my legs eventually. I'm really happy with it, and it's healed phenomenally considering it's so dark in the center. That tattoo cost about 250, I think, maybe 300, just because of how big and how dark it was. And to be honest with you guys, that is everything. So since my last video, I've had 9 new additions to my body, which doesn't actually seem that much at all in the space of a year and 8 months. However, now I live in London, and tattoos are so much more expensive over here. So is rent and bills and living and everything, and I'm just trying to kind of balance out living life, affording everything, and also getting tattoos every once in a while. I may not get as many as I probably would want to, but that's okay because I'm happy with how I look and how I feel and everything that I have in total. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I really enjoyed filming it, and it's nice to kind of look back on the year and to see how much we've kind of progressed since this last video. I want to thank you so much for watching and subscribing and just giving all the support that you do. I really can't thank you enough. So yeah, sending so much love. Oh my god, that heart was disgusting. Let's do this one. I also forgot to mention how much we would have spent altogether, which I will have no idea in my head. So I'm gonna put the big old number here for you to be amazed by. I hope that you enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions or if you just want to mention something or have advice for me, put it down below. I'd love to hear it. It's always enjoyable to read your comments. I would really love it if you could subscribe, because I do try post as much tattoo related content as I possibly can. I hope that you enjoyed watching. I'm sending so much love, hugs and kisses, and we will see you soon.